So if you had told me that my first Prismatic ad clear build was going to be a Lightning Surge build, I would have thought you were crazy. But here we are, and it's because of this class item roll right here, and it's Spirit of Osmiomancy, Spirit of Syntheseps, right? And so I'm going to explain why, because if this is a Lightning Surge build, why do we have Osmiomancy in there? And then Syntheseps, well, I'll just show you the Syntheseps percentage right here. Here, Spirit of Syntheseps. So Syntheseps, 165 increased melee damage, and that does apply to Lightning Surge. This counts. And Lightning Surge, it goes crazy when you have Syntheseps active. So get your biotic enhancements active by just getting near 3 enemies within 15 meters of 3 fluorescent enemies. Get your biotic enhancements, and this thing chunks. Like, it is crazy. And then you run this with Arcane Needle. You need to run it with Arcane Needle because then you have 3 charges of this. So you can dash, Lightning Surge, you can slide. You can do this 3 times in a row. And then we're running Cold Snaps. Keep in mind, this is all with Feed the Void, so every time you get a kill, Devours up. So then we have Cold Snaps. And the reason why we have Cold Snaps is because of Osmiomancies. Now, you don't technically need to run Cold Snaps, but I think it's the best choice with Osmiomancies. What they don't tell you, or I guess they do tell you, but it's very, it's easy to miss, is that the Spirit of Osmiomancy, it works different from normal Osmiomancies. So normal Osmiomancy is that when your Cold Snap hits something, it recharges quicker. With the Spirit of Osmiomancy, it's that any grenade recharges quicker when it hits something. That even includes your healing grenades. Your healing grenades, if they hit like a player, it'll recharge it quicker. And this is a very insane interaction. In fact, it's 12% for every like healing grenade hit. So technically in Excision you could just like spam these repeatedly. But I'm still running it with Cold Snap because I think the Spirit of Osmiomancy, some people say it works best with like Vortex. But I like it a lot with Cold Snap still, specifically because I think the tracking and the distance and just also the percentages make more sense. So here's the Spirit of Osmiomancy. And this is what you'll see from the Cold Snap. So first of all, they travel 35% further, which is very noticeable. They have better tracking. And then also, if you hit a tier 4 combatant with a Cold Snap, it'll just give you straight up 50%. And you can hit multiple people. So a lot of the time, you'll just get your Cold Snap back instantly. And if we're using Cold Snap, you can freeze your enemies, and I'll show you this playstyle. You can freeze your enemies, and then you can dash into them, and they'll all get shattered, and they'll shatter each other. And then you'll also have this chain lightning between them, and they're just dead. Like, I have seen very few ads that can survive this combination. Also because we have Facet of Ruin, which makes your shatters do even more damage, which is, I think I love this fragment. I always have it on basically. So I'm gonna go over my armor mods real quick. On my class item, I just have Proximity Ward because I really like this. Not everyone likes it. Outreach because we want our melee back as often as possible, and then Distribution because it's just a really good mod and we have the slots for it. And then I have a Strand Weapon Surge because I think surges are underrated for ad clear, especially when I have a Siphon mod on. This double benefits both the surge and it benefits my Facet of Purpose. I'll go over these fragments in a second, right? And then I also just have a Strand Scavenger. You could also maybe use a Void Scavenger, or the weapons are loose here. You can use a bunch of weapons here, and you'll be fine. The biggest thing is just this fragment combination with this bond. That's the biggest thing. And then also having a Siphon mod on, right? Chest piece, pretty simple. I think loaders are also underrated for ad clear. I really enjoy them, so I just have one for my Sunshot and one for the Call. And then on a helmet, I have a Siphon related to Sunshot. I could also do a Siphon for Strand here, because I do use the Call a lot, but it's a little bit overkill. But it'd be really fun. I don't know, this is more supportive because I've got a heavy Finder and a heavy Scout. But yeah, let's get into the fragments here. So, first of all, abilities, Phoenix, Burst Glide, Arcane Needle, Cold Snap. I went over these already. And then, first of all, Faceted Rune, because your shatters are going to do more damage, and I think that this is a very, very noticeable change. This is one of my more, like, one of the best fragments within Prismatic, debatably. And then Faceted Protection, this is a very good damage resist. And it's very easy to proc too. You just need to be surrounded by combatants, and so this is going to happen a lot. It's going to save your life a lot. You're not going to notice it, but it will. And then you have Faceted Balance, which works really well with this build, because how this reads is that rapidly defeating targets with light damage grants melee energy. Rapidly defeating targets with darkness damage grants grenade energy. Well, we're going to be defeating targets with light damage when we use our lightning surge, and that's going to chain back into itself, because that's going to grant melee energy, right? So you see the combination here. And then also just having your grenade back more guaranteed is fantastic. You know, you're doing both. You're doing a lot of darkness damage and a lot of light damage with this build. And then we have Faceted Dawn. Every time you get your lightning surge kill, you're going to be making yourself radiant and allies radiant. This is, you know, it just makes a lot of sense with this build. And then you have Faceted Purpose. Faceted Purpose is the main reason why I'm using Singer, because I really like Restoration. You could use any of the supers. It's fine. You'll probably survive. You know, all of these buffs are pretty good. Amplified's not necessarily great for survival, but it's still it's a good thing regardless. And yeah, that's the main thing there. The thing is that I would say about Amplified is you'll probably be getting Amplified anyways because of Lightning Surge. And the other thing I want to bring up with this build is that whenever you pop your Transcendence, which you should be doing regularly, you want to spam your Lightning Surge and your Grenade, because every time you hit something with your Grenade and your Transcendent, it'll it'll grant you like melee energy. And if you hit stuff with your melee, it'll give you grenade energy. So you can chain this back and forth, and you can constantly spam Lightning Surge. It's ridiculous. Yeah, you'll see this in the clips, but yeah, and there's not really that much more going on here. I know that this is like, the class items are kind of controversial, because it's like, how are you going to get your specific role that you want? I think that they can make some changes to this, but if you're willing to give this a try to farm, I am doing helps with this. So if you leave a message, comment, whatever, I will try to do my best to get this for you. You don't even need to talk. Like, we'll figure out ways to get this, especially if you haven't gotten this before, because I just want to make sure everyone has a chance for these. I think they're awesome, and yeah, I'm gonna have more builds on these. So I think whenever you get a class item, you should really be holding on to it, because even roles that you didn't think were gonna be great, like I would not have thought at first that this build is gonna be insane, but it is. And so yeah, just hold on to all your class items. In fact, there's a website real quick, and I'll pull it up for you, and I'll put a link in the description. So this website, mgram.blue/catchemall. This is really useful because it'll show you all the rules that you have on the class item and all the duplicates you have. And so I can actually, you're completely safe with deleting a duplicate. Like, I could go find this role and delete it, but this shows me all the ones that I've collected, and so it's yeah, this is very handy. You can see I've actually got all the Harmony rolls already. I've almost got all the Apotheosis rolls. So yeah, I'll leave this in the description for you to check out. And other than that, hope you like this. These have been doing really well, so I'm going to do more of these, and